All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Two Fat Guys Talking Flowers, where we are always going to bring you the good, the bad, and the ugly about flowers. I am your AI podcast host, hoping to steal this gig from Fern. I am here with Mike, Ryan, Mimi, and our patriotic, certified professional floral designer guest is none other than the talented Jena Gizerskiy, sales manager at Rosaprima, here to talk all about Memorial Day flowers.
Woo! There you go. Okay.
Welcome. See, AI is coming for Fern's job. It's real.
Oh, man.
Now that he's not here, he can't defend himself.
Nope.
So no Joelle and no Fern. So if something goes wrong,
it's my fault.
it's Joelle's fault.
At least we are blessed with our dear Jena, who understands that if we have to re-record, no, it's not happening. We are recording. We are recording.
I'll be there with bells on.
Jena, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me.
We are here to talk about something that I know is very dear to you, very dear to me, and definitely to the Black family and Jeff Fresh in general. Actually, my first time in Arlington was with Ryan and Ashley, and I was there with my husband. And last year, I got to be there with Jena.
Beware.
Mm-hmm. And Arlington Cemetery.
What are we talking about?
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
It's the whole part, girl.
We are here to talk about Memorial Day flowers.
There you go.
Yay.
That's right.
What
Memorial
an
Day
organization, right? What an amazing organization.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, go ahead and explain it.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about Memorial Day flowers, Jena.
Sure. So Memorial Day Flower Foundation was created a few years back, and it's basically to honor it's basically to honor the fallen soldiers. So every year, this organization makes sure that we have flowers delivered to Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C., and we have volunteers going there. And what we do is very emotional and next level humane. And we give out flowers. We lay flowers on graves, and we also give out flowers to families that come to visit their sons and daughters. So it's such an emotional and amazing organization. I love it, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. And I'm so glad that you, Mimi, got me into it, and kind of, now I can't stop. I won't stop.
So this year we're going to do something a little different. This year we're taking over South Florida National Cemetery.
We as in you two.
Us two on behalf of Jet Fresh and Rosaprima.
Right. So the event is still happening, obviously, in Arlington. The organization will still be there. Donations are still being requested to be
Arlington.
sent there.
They do it in a bunch of places.
They do it in a bunch of places.
You got out the West Coast. And
Absolutely.
all different places.
Every year
I
it's
think the
slightly
idea
different.
is to get all the way across the U.S. and hit all the national cemeteries, but that will take enough people donating the flowers, enough volunteers signing up, right? We can't, the two, three people cannot handle the whole United States. Look at Sid in the background getting comfortable on that pillow.
Oh, yeah.
Man, what a life that
He's living
dog
the
had.
life.
Yes, sorry. So yeah, Mimi and I, we're going to the South Florida National Cemetery because it's closer to home. So what a way to start spreading the love, right? It's just right here where you are.
As soon as I brought that up, Jimmy said his father is buried there. So it's emotional for him, and he says that he goes either way. Like if he wasn't going to go to Arlington, he goes over there anyway. And I did this maybe 3 times before at South Florida National Cemetery. And like Jena says, the idea is for florists to get involved, to be able to sell memorial tributes to their customers. And then for every box, 125 roses will then be delivered to Arlington. The idea is to cover all of Arlington at one point. And I think Ramiro's really getting there. Like I know Wolf's has gotten behind it, right? Wolf's has gotten behind the organization and the foundation. And I know that a lot of florists are really trying to volunteer. And that's what we need. We need to bring back Memorial Day as a floral holiday to be able to give back.
People forgot about it.
Right.
Yeah.
People forgot about Memorial Day. Memorial Day nowadays is just an excuse to go to the beach.
Yeah.
It gets
Or
an
just
extra
do
day off.
barbecue.
But when I was young, red, white, and blue carnations were super, super popular for Memorial Day. Super popular. We sold a ton of red, white, and blue carnations from Denver, Colorado. And they weren't even grown in South America at the time. It was people would make boutonnieres, and it was a real thing. And
What was didn't they use a different flower?
Poppies is what they're used in the UK.
Yep.
oh, I don't know about that. I know
Right?
that there
Like
was
the
a lot
red-
of
No, it's not a poppy. Is it a poppy or is it a?
It is a poppy.
Yeah, it's a red poppy.
people
Yeah.
use cemetery blankets and things like that to decorate red, white, and blue and
Mhm.
Memorial Day. St. Patrick's Day too. It used to be a real holiday. Like you would sell hundreds of thousands of
Green
green
carnations.
carnations. You're looking at the world champion green carnation tinter of all time.
What
That's me.
was your best year?
I would come in with white hands and arms, and I would go home with green hands and
Oh
arms.
boy.
Yeah.
Look at the Chicago River, right? Is it the Chicago River?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably why Jeff Fresh is painted all green. We're still like giving out that
It's
color.
still, yeah.
I
It's
don't
a
know how.
memory.
I think
Hard.
green just came from the New York Jets originally. I think.
When you made the logo, when you had the logo made for what, $30? I think you said you
$100,
$100,
$99.
There was a plane, there was a globe. I'm not really sure why they use green specifically. That's a good question.
Well, green. I think they chose right because it's a natural a color of hope. It's a great color.
Yeah, it
It
makes
is a
perfect sense. It works.
Looks good on the trucks, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it does.
Color of money, too.
Booyah.
Save less.
And stems.
Save less.
Stems and money.
So you got Ramiro he's got Johan from Soleil Farms.
Johan has been going and donating his time,
Yeah.
and his whole family goes
Yeah.
for years. I've seen
Yeah.
his kids grow up at Arlington. It's
Well,
crazy.
Yeah.
Stephen Armelini.
Stephen
and his
Armelini
family.
is a great example. He's there. He donates
Yeah.
trucks every year. His
Yeah.
family's there every year.
He called me, make sure I'm donating.
Oh yeah,
It's like
they don't fuck
He
around.
called me as well.
That's right.
He
Yeah.
called. Oh, yeah.
He takes that real serious.
Ramiro currently is in DC right now doing the preps, like all the prep work and making sure because it's a long process.
We could always add a voice note from Ramiro if we want to add a voice note or something.
He told me to call him. I can give him a call right now, but
we don't have that
cannot-
much time,
Yeah, but I want to go back actually for what it is the roses are roses for your community. You can invite your customers to your store or branch and receive a complimentary rose to place on a veteran's headstone or hand them out to your local cemetery. Each participating location will receive a box of 125 roses delivered via FedEx or UPS the Thursday or Friday before Memorial Day. When you give back, we will then for every box ordered, 50 roses will then be distributed at Arlington National Cemetery on Memorial Day weekend. So this time, we are actually working with the Patriot Guard Riders from Florida District 6. And our guy is Jeff the Cowboy Garten. And
Are these bikers?
they are bikers,
Oh,
yes.
nice.
Cool.
I like the bikers.
And remember, Jenna, when we saw all the bikers in DC
Yep.
last year?
So for those who
Yep.
don't know, Rolling Thunder goes through DC during Memorial
Memorial
Day.
Day.
Thousands of motorcycles just in a
It was a
huge-
sight to see.
Yeah,
it was
it's so
something.
loud. You hear them coming from down the street. It's really cool to see.
And it's crazy because
But
they
it's
close all the
flags.
roads down. Yeah.
They do, and all the flags. You just feel so like I don't know. That was a magical weekend in my life last year. It really was. It was.
Did you guys
It
watch
was-
Sons of Anarchy? Were you into that?
I didn't.
No,
I didn't.
Your mom liked one of those guys on there. We watched it for a
I'm
while.
sure. Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're giving out because South Florida National Cemetery is also a big Jewish cemetery, and you're not allowed to place anything living or anything that has life on the tombstones or on the floor. So what we're doing is we're giving them out to the people that are visiting, which
Yeah.
I think is so important. We heard so many times people like thanking us so much for remembering them, for honoring their soldier and their families. Like some of these people have several people in the cemetery, so it's really nice because this comes back to that flower feeling, like we're there from the beginning to the end, and also the remembering of everything.
No, I guess the most touching moment, and the most surreal moment last year at the Arlington National Cemetery was talking to the families. You know, to some people it's a 3-day weekend and we barbecue, and these people spend their entire weekend in their little chairs next to the graves of their sons and daughters and just remembering, you know. And it was that was a hard hit for me. That was probably one of the most important moments of that whole entire weekend is talking to those families. So it does go a long way when you bring flowers and they're like, what are you doing? Why are you here? And you're like, just wanted to, pay tribute. And you could hear, like, you could see the love coming out of their, of their eyes just for doing that. So I think it is a big deal. And I think a lot more people should be involved. We have such an amazing, strong industry. When we do things together, we go such a long way, So I think the more people get involved, the better it is. And it's a lot of fun too in the process.
You have to be. Yeah, I think it's definitely worth going to experience Arlington. Especially, this is a great reason to go there. I don't know how big it is size wise, but it's massive. Huge. How much Arlington covers. I don't even think they can up until this point cover the entire ground with flowers yet. That's how big it is. But they keep trying every year to get closer and closer to doing that. But there's so much. If you're walking through it, you're just feeling the somberness, just like the openness of all of it. But if you're passing out the flowers to the families, you're hearing personal feedback. Or if you're placing the roses on the tombstones or in front of the tombstones, that's really intense. That's really emotional.
That to me is the most emotional. I love talking to the families and everything, but when you're saying that person's name out loud and you're looking at their date of birth and then their date of death, and it's just like, it's crazy because it's the ultimate sacrifice. Like you're not meeting some of the people that fight for you, and it was intense. Yeah. Tracy and I went and we tried to finish more than what we could. And we also went with Rafi's daughter, and it was just so emotional. Like, and if you really give that person a good, 4 or 5 seconds and they gave their life for you,
Exactly.
Ryan made an amazing video years ago about Memorial Day flowers.
Yeah, it's still on their site.
Very touching. I
did it a few years. I went up there, and rather than lugging buckets for the day, I would film as much as I could, and we'd edit a few videos each year, showing behind the scenes, showing the process of how they got there, the flowers got there, the donations.
That's on our YouTube.
Yeah.
You should repost it like on Memorial Day.
I'm going to have to check it out. I've never seen it, to be honest, but I would love to see.
It was essentially, I would walk around with a tripod and just capture as much as I could throughout the day. I would stay in the front collecting everybody, handing out the flowers. Then I'd go into the fields watching people pass out the flowers to the tombstones. And then eventually I'd end at section 60 where all the families were hanging out. And that's where you get the real money shots of like the little kid dressed in the Marine outfit, hugging the tombstone.
And you had a hard time capturing that.
I'm not a photographer, so I feel really awkward, like just capturing people's videos and pictures when they're in their moment of remembrance and honor to somebody that died. Where there's some people out there that have no fucks and they're out in your face with a flash photography, like paparazzi style. And I had a zoom lens and I poached up on the back far away.
Especially,
that's not cool.
Yeah, but especially at section 60 because the presidents usually go to section 60 because that's where
it's a little attention spot. Go out there, walk to the tomb of the unknown soldier, and then go out, walk to section 60, shake a few hands.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah. Speaking of families, I think it's really important. Like if you have children, doesn't matter what age, because I had my 4-year-old with me, and the amount of lessons that she learned, I feel like it made her a better person. Like she had questions about the place, about the people, and why are people sad, and why are we giving flowers, and why do you have to be quiet? Like it was really interesting to her, and I feel like it made an impact on her little life, in a big way. So I encourage you to bring your kids, your friends. It's an amazing family bonding moment.
It's not too late
to appreciate everything like the next level, right?
Yeah, no. My kids always talk about it, and I think it's important that they go. I'm happy that they got to go to Arlington, and they're coming with me this year, so they'll see you. But it's not too late to sign up, and you just got to go, or even just to donate. If you head over to memorialdayflowers.org, there's several ways that you can help. You can volunteer your time at Arlington or reach out to Ramiro and he'll tell you where you can go. And then there's also like you can donate, and you can also just supply flowers. Mike, how many flowers you've been behind this since day one?
Jeff Press has been donating over 10 years.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, and that's something so important because I think it's a beautiful thing when we got up there and you see these big Armellini trucks and you see all the logos of all the flowers and you see that they're coming together for something so important. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got to say thank you also to the Queens Group and 7,000 Logistics and Bouquet Collection. And they do all this work and they put flowers in water.
DV does a lot of the logistics
DV
as
Flora,
well.
yeah. It's like it doesn't matter. It's one of the few times where I think that the industry does something together without any
anything back.
Without an invoice. It's not about business. Yeah. It's more about just doing the right thing.
You don't expect anything. Yeah.
Right. There's nothing coming back to you.
Right.
Other than you could sit back in your chair and say, I did something right today.
Yeah. And you feel right for like a whole year. I was buzzing like leading up to it and after I had left. Like it leaves such an impact on your life. It's really meaningful.
Yeah. If you talk to Ramiro and he tells you the story behind it and how he started it and how he kept it going. Like the guy works on it 52 weeks a year.
Yeah.
It's not just it's not just he gets started a few months ahead of time. He's working on it and he's talking to all these people in federal agencies and trying to
and
make
that's
things
not
happen.
easy because they see an Ecuadorian and they're like, what do you want? Like it's not easy.
Well, he's a gringo.
Oh, he is a gringo. We know, but he comes back. He comes back as in the beginning, he was a Ecuadorian farm, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think his dual citizenship, maybe. But
he has roots that are at Arlington. Yeah.
Like, I think he lived in D.C.
Yes,
I think,
he's got family history.
Yeah.
They can just listen to last year's episode.
But
I think he started in 2011 after 9/11. No, he started the organization.
He started after the takedown. Was it before?
I was trying to think. Like that's already 14 years the organization has been around.
Ramiro, how did this get started?
How did it get started? Well, after Osama bin Laden was killed on May 2nd or May 3rd of 2011, three of us Americans in Ecuador, were coming out of a AmCham meeting, a Chamber of Commerce meeting in Quito, and we said, how can we honor those who have served our country? And I said, well, I have 5 members of my family at Arlington National Cemetery. How about we organize maybe 10,000 roses from Ecuador to Arlington National Cemetery? And they said yes. The other guys helped out getting the flowers, and I called up Arlington, and they said, sure, we'd love to have the flowers. That's how the whole thing started. The next year, we invited Colombia, the Colombian growers, and Delaware Valley in New Jersey and California. So we had flowers. It's very ecumenical. We try to get as many people involved as possible, and we've always had great support from, especially from Queens at first, the Queens Group and Soleil Farms, and it's grown from there.
And how can the floral industry support us? Like, how can the retail florists get involved?
Okay, well, there's 2 questions there, Mimi. Is that how the industry has helped us and supported us. It's been really quite amazing. I find the importers in Miami, as you know, the majority of them are Colombian American, Cuban American, or first generation. They're the most patriotic people in the world. I mean, I find people in the flower industry imported in general, like Michael Black, your boss, you'd be incredibly patriotic. And we're very lucky that Memorial Day is after Mother's Day, so there's extra flowers before the wedding season. But we've had some of our biggest supporters have been the Queens Group, as I mentioned before, Herbert Jordan, Soleil Farms, Johan, Fresca, Vicente, and Ceci Vaughn, Galleria, Neil, Yolanda, Passion Growers, Jaime, Cheryl, and Marco. They always, they donate anywhere between 20 and 30,000 flowers every year. And then you have Cal Flowers, Yost and Lane and Jeannie. Even the Colombian government helps. Asoco Flores helps every year. Wolfsa helps. Choice Farms. It goes on and on. And look at Jet Fresh. Jet Fresh pretty much every year sends people up. There's no better supporter than Jet Fresh. And as you know, you're doing the podcast about this right now. I mean, and there's hundreds and hundreds of people involved every year doing this.
But thank you so much. And you heard it from the man himself, Ramiro.
Well, Thank you to you, Mimi, and obviously the whole Jet Fresh crew, and everything with from Michael and Ryan. You have a great company, and you do a lot for the flower industry, but you do a lot for our country. Your company believes in the abundance. You believe in making the pie bigger, and that's what I love about Jet Fresh.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Mimi. Okay. And good luck, all retailers.
Funny you mentioned that. Yesterday when I was homesick, I started to rewatch Homeland.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Homeland is so good.
Yeah, I watch it like every couple years, the whole thing. Like I'll watch it like couple every night until it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
I would watch The Wire or The Sopranos again, but your mom doesn't like
She's not into it.
No.
The fifth time around.
Yeah. If you want to be separated in your house,
Watch
and
The
you
Wire.
have 2 TVs, don't watch those shows with your wife. No, she don't like them. But the Homeland she'll watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Homeland. It was a great. I never finished it, so I should probably go back.
It's good.
Did you guys ever hear the bagpipes when you were at Arlington?
Oh, man.
The bagpipes are intense.
I think so. We did, right, Mimi?
Yeah,
What's the song
Yes,
they play?
we did.
What's the
Taps.
Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace? Yeah.
You know, I grew up in New York City, so every parade had the bagpipes from the FDNY and NYPD, and I was always amazed by how those bagpipes sound. And they get into your skin like
such a somber tone.
Yeah, it really gets you.
Eerie.
It's eerie. Yeah.
It's
but I always like it.
Yeah, I know. I liked it. I agree.
In UK on New Year's, I don't know if you ever watched Hogmanay, but that's what they call New Year's. They have a soul piper that goes up to the Edinburgh Castle, and he performs a solo.
Cool.
And it's like next level stuff. It is so, it gives you goosebumps.
I want to hear like a Jimi Hendrix solo on a bagpipe, like something crazy on a bagpipe.
There is one.
Yeah.
There is one. Him playing guitar sounds like.
No, but I want to see somebody bagpipe soloing like that.
Oh, that's got to be on YouTube for sure.
I'm sure somebody had done that.
Yeah.
So the history was after the May 2nd, 2011, a SEAL team mission, a small group of U.S. citizens, my God, I can't read today, citizens organized the handout of 10,000 flowers at Arlington National Cemetery on Memorial Day. Ever since then, the foundation has continually increased the number of flower donations at Arlington. And like you said, all over, because I did South Florida National Cemetery for 3 years, and it's a beautiful cemetery.
No, that ain't it.
I thought that was the Titanic theme.
Yeah, so 14 years, 15 years
That's
next.
beautiful. Yeah, way to go,
A
remember.
milestone. Yeah.
But yeah, like you guys said, they're looking for more volunteers. So if you're in the area, if you want to travel to DC for Memorial Day flowers, they'll be looking for more volunteers. So you can go to their website and sign up. Or they're also always looking for flower donations. So if you or any of your farms or suppliers want to donate flowers, you can still do that. And then keep in mind, you could always celebrate in your own shops and storefronts during that weekend by helping raise money to donate to their cause.
Absolutely. I've actually have I have family members in Arlington Cemetery, and so there's some wives, military wives, that used to be teachers that are going this year to help volunteer. So I'm really excited for that. Also, the WUFSA team, they work out of DC. They're also going to be volunteering.
Nice.
So I know WUFSA took on Memorial Day Flower Foundation because it's really close to Freddie's heart. He's a big patriot. So he made sure that was going to be part of our mission going forward. So yeah, I think big things are coming. And the more of us get involved and get passionate about it, I think we're going to go a long way.
I know Cal Flowers is involved, but I also think this is a That Flower Feeling
That's exactly
experience
yeah.
as well, because
It is.
again, that flower feeling is more than just self-care. That flower feeling could be any feeling that flowers give you, including remembering somber, memorial style flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, but even when you talk about self-care, right? Like for a mom who lost her kid, right? To give her flowers to take home, or even if it's one flower, right, to take home, that shifts her whole mood for the weekend, in my opinion, because flowers tend to do that. So it makes a difference. I think that flower field fits right in.
They also have the TAPS program up there, where they give out bouquets specifically for them. I forgot what TAPS stands for.
I think it's the
Tragedy.
trauma. Yeah. So they're all the children of the.
It's the family members of the fallen soldiers and stuff like that. Who receive special flowers and bouquets just for them that are there present that day, which is also amazing.
TAPS is Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors.
It's amazing. No, the organization is definitely something that everybody needs to be involved in. So you guys have questions. Mimi is a big advocate for the organization. Like, she was my go-to point. I didn't bother Ramiro. I would go to Mimi with all my questions. So feel free to email me, call me. Pretty much everybody's following me and Mimi on Instagram. So feel free to reach out. We'll answer any questions. If you want to join us in South Florida, if you're already local and you want to join us, you're more than welcome to.
Absolutely. And my goal is for, us to be able to help at South Florida and bring back Jacksonville. Jacksonville is Florida National Cemetery, which is the largest, it's the most visited one. So eventually, hopefully, we're riding up our trucks up there. And little by little, we'll bring back...
Is nobody going to do anything there?
Not this year, sir. But that's the idea. That's why when I spoke with Ramiro and I said, I'm so happy that I've had the experience of going to Arlington. I really wanted another freshie to be able to go and experience that. And I said, how can I bring back South Florida National? And so Ramiro said, let's get that back. And I feel like we need, as an industry, we support for Arlington and we support Ramiro and everything, but we go and we bring it one step further. So I reached out to my dear friend Jena. I said, Jena, let's do this. And I feel like we can bring back South Florida, we can bring back Jacksonville, the Florida National Cemetery, and then little by little we can start hitting up other wholesalers throughout the nation, other florists who want to help, and we can all come together, because it's just asking the National Cemetery for the approval, and of course they're going to say yes. I
think because it's a very much a volunteer kind of organization, every year is different. Some years they can cover more cemeteries than other years.
And we also have it's right after one of our
Mother's
biggest
Day,
holidays. Yeah. So
I encourage, if you have a national cemetery in your city and you would like to be the spokesperson and make something happen, reach out. To go on the website, reach out, get somebody to help you organize. You could be that person in charge of your city.
Ramiro has all of the assets that we need. You can be supplied banners and information. And he's really great at speaking. Like, Ramiro could speak to like your ear off. So he can get that done with you. Yeah. But the idea is that, like, Mike, I want to be able to, next year, that's my challenge. My challenge will be like to get us all the way to Jacksonville, or to partner up with somebody and do this.
Right, it doesn't need to be
you. Gotta call Marty McCall up there in Jacksonville.
I was just going to say, I was going to call Marty right after this call and say, why aren't you doing this?
He probably is doing it. He probably already is doing it.
Yeah,
Renato used to do it for many years up in Florida National Cemetery. Yeah, he was doing it while I was doing South Florida National Cemetery. But I think it's just asking for permission and getting the word out there again. COVID kind of did a number on that, because that's when I stopped really. And I partnered with a florist that was up in Boca, and she sold her shop, so I didn't have any connection anymore. And since at Chrysler I didn't have flowers, I was like, how am I going to get flowers to get out there?
Sure.
But now we are calling out all the florists, the wholesalers, the growers. We can come together and really make it back a big holiday, I think.
Absolutely.
When you said Renato, you reminded me that the Cub Scouts are a big part of...
Yes.
And the Boy Scouts.
And the Boy Scouts
Yes.
are a big part of that.
Yes.
They're a huge
What about the Girl
labor
Scouts?
pool.
Are they?
The Girl Scouts,
they probably
yeah.
help. Yeah, last time when I was in Arlington, I just remembered a sea of Boy Scouts unloading the trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
They probably get something for that. They get a
badge. Yeah, absolutely. You get a badge.
It's
Which
part
is
of
amazing.
It's part of the community service that they have to do. Yeah.
I love that. So yeah, get involved.
Get on it.
That's the word of the day.
But if people listening want to donate any roses or to that event, you can call your supplier if you have a supplier here in Miami, and tell them you want to buy some flowers to be sent to the Memorial Day Flowers Foundation at 7000 Logistics on this Friday.
between Friday and Monday. So
Friday and
they have
Monday.
multiple shipments going out.
Yeah.
Friday, Monday is the last chance to get your product on the trucks.
Yeah, so you could buy a box, 10 boxes, whatever, of roses, and then just have them drop shipped there. And then you made your donation.
There you go.
You know?
Here's a picture of my scouts back in the day. This is at South Florida National Cemetery, and we went and I took my troop and I made all of my little kids go because I was the Cub Scout leader.
Love that.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, definitely not.
Right? Surprise.
I was really sad when my boys didn't want to do Cub Scouts anymore, but it was I think I love that. It was a great memory that I have, and I think I'm happy.
I was a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
For a short moment.
Really?
Yeah.
Boy Scout or Cub Scout?
You're a
Boy
good
Scout,
person.
Yeah, my friend's dad was the Scoutmaster.
Do you remember any of it?
I remember the last time I was a Boy Scout that we went on a camping trip, and I'm always looking for responsibility. And his dad told me that I was going to be the quartermaster, and I got all excited. I was going to have an important position on the Boy Scout camping trip. And what that meant was that I got to carry all the pots and pans up the hill. And I got to wash all the pots and pans, and I got to carry them back down again. And that was my last, I think that was my last Boy Scout outing.
My last camping trip with the boys, primitive camping, was when we were at a scouting event, and Dylan said, "Mommy, I have to go get my toy." And I said, go back. And I guess, when you go camping, you got to make sure you close your tent. Well, Dylan didn't close the tent. So when we got back to the campground, and I'm going inside, and we were all getting ready to go to sleep and laying on the floor, and all of a sudden there was a giant crawling roach on Dylan's face, and I slapped him. And then I look at Emil, and Emil had him all over, and I'm slapping him. So there was just bugs all over our tent. And I was screaming, and Oliver's like, "Shh, it's 1 a.m. Stop screaming." And I'm going, "There's bugs everywhere." And then the next morning, all of our other troop leaders were looking at me and Oliver like, "You guys had a busy night. Your tent was shaking." I'm like, "Shaking? I didn't sleep. Look at the bags under my eyes." I didn't sleep a wink. I was just killing bugs the whole night. Like,
me and your mom used to camp out all the time.
In a tent, in a van, what?
We did. I don't know if we did tents. Mostly we did the back of the Bronco.
Nice.
We did a lean-to.
What's a lean-to?
Lean-to is like a 3-walled cabin that are usually in parks, like where you can camp.
like the KOAs or whatever, like those kind
No. Like you could be going down a trail somewhere, and then there'll be a lean-to, and you just claim it, or you make a reservation for it, or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, we used to all the time take baths in the river.
Nice.
No, I'm not a camper.
Was this before the kids?
Yeah,
Oh, that's fun.
yeah.
Those were the fun days.
Yeah, camping like Peace River
That was in,
camping with
That's
drinks.
how
Did you
the
go
kids
camping
were
now?
made.
Yeah.
That's
We
how
had
the
an
kids were
SUV
made.
before it was cool to have an SUV. We had a K5 Blazer.
Ooh.
Yeah, and we used to sleep in the back of that.
Okay.
And we used to go all over Maine, and that's why we love the Adirondacks so much.
Right. You have
Yeah,
good memories there.
yeah, but we don't
Love
camp
that.
out
You guys
anymore.
had such a fun life.
Do you want to camp? Do you miss it?
No, man. No.
What about glamping? Would you ever go glamping?
No, it's like my lake house. Good enough.
I'm
pretty
glamping.
I was just gonna say you'll
That's
settle
pretty
with the
much
lake
that,
house.
I'm
Yeah.
glamping this summer. I'm going to I guess that's Sebastian Inlet. Oliver, that's the thing, is that those KOAs, they sell out like a year in advance. So Oliver's like, "I booked one. I'm so excited." And I go, "I'm booking an RV because this body's not laying on the floor with bugs
had an
ever
RV.
again."
We had a pop-up RV. We had 2 RVs.
Yeah.
Try to get these kids out in the woods
Eh?
a few times.
Was it the classic? You got the RV to take the kids out, but then like you hated it, having the kids in the RV because they were driving you crazy.
No, we actually all you guys loved it.
Yeah.
But life, just didn't give you the time to do it no more. Just the older you get, the more you ate.
The more you eat, yeah. And then not only that, to prep all
Kids
of
are
that,
fucking expensive.
it takes a lot of time to prep it. Like before we go camping, it would take like a whole day of prep.
Yeah.
Pack this and do this, and when you come home, everything has to be washed. It takes a long time.
Yeah.
Mike, you should redo the RV trip with the boys now being older and the wives
I'm
and the
lucky I can get them
grandkids.
all for Thanksgiving.
I was gonna say you're gonna need like multiple RVs. It's gonna be like a caravan.
No, it's gonna be a
That would be
competition on
imagine.
who's.
Oh my God! Imagine the fun, the possibility.
It should be like an RV, like a cross country race or something like that.
Oh, like rat race.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll split the
That'd
family
be
up.
fun.
in
That
three
sounds
groups.
like a Black family fun week.
It was really cool when they all came up to the lake house on 4th of July week.
Yeah.
When I had everybody at one time. That was really cool.
It's gonna happen again.
And now we're going to have the grandkids coming up, which is also very exciting.
That's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Amazing.
But no more
Very
camping.
exciting stuff. No more camping.
Nah.
We used to put underwears on our heads when camping so the bugs cannot get in your ears.
Oh.
I'm personally not a camper.
That's a
no.
good idea. I
No
never thought of
glamping,
that.
no camping. If there's bugs, snakes, yeah, I'll stay in the hotel next door. We'll meet in nature. But yeah, I'm not gonna sleep there. I'll be like Mimi up all night.
Mm-mm.
There's no
No.
scary stories
Actually,
from your camping.
That's how I met your mother, I think, actually.
Camping? I thought you
Yeah.
met at a bait softball
No,
game.
it was a softball game. Mommy.
Oh, that's right.
That was the other mommy. That was the other mommy.
We were camping. No, we were camping
Uh-huh.
upstate New York, me and my friends,
Uh-huh.
and we got a torrential downpour.
Which friends? Can you remember any of them?
Yeah, Joe Wallace and I don't remember. Just a bunch of guys.
Okay.
And we got a torrential rain downpour, and we ran down the hill. We got into our cars. We drove. There was this one little motel down at the bottom of the road, and it was like 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And we knocked on the door, and the owner of the hotel opened up, and he welcomed us in open arms. He opened up his restaurant. He cooked us all breakfast.
Nice.
This guy was in the witness protection program for sure. He
Oh
did
my
not
God.
belong there, and he had this really deep Brooklyn accent. I'll never forget that guy, and he became our friend. And then every once a month, we would have a caravan from New York City drive up there just to hang out at his hotel,
Just to hang there.
at his motel.
Very cool.
And your mom came one time.
Ah. Just one time?
Yep. Oh, I get that.
There you go.
That was funny.
But go on.
No, that's how we got to know each other a little better.
So what's the softball story
The
that
The
I know?
softball story is a different story.
That's when I first saw her.
Susan.
She's
No,
busy
yeah,
petting
that's when I
dogs.
first
So
saw
cute.
her, and
You always
yeah.
have to give the other side of the story
Yeah,
too,
the
you
real
know?
story. Yeah,
That's fun.
Because my parents, as they grew older, it got the stories got embellished. My dad would add on things, that were never happened. It was funny. So every year the story got better and better and better. Hey, mommy.
Oh, look who just happened to walk in! Perfect timing.
They're gonna double check your story.
We're gonna check
Go
my
ahead.
story.
I didn't make that up. Go right ahead.
Get your
We're going
headphones
to
on,
cross
Mama.
check.
I didn't make that up.
No, we know you didn't make it up. We want to know her side of the story.
She didn't like me.
We're talking about camping, Mom. Okay, we'll ask you. When's the first time you guys met or saw each other? What is it? Saw each other or met? Which one are we
Met.
talking about?
He said met.
Well, it was playing softball.
Do
Yeah,
you
but-
remember a camping trip at a hotel?
Where you finally gave him a chance.
It was a
maybe.
motel. It was a motel.
Is that, well, I don't know if it was camping, but I remember
I
we
was
went
camping. That's how we
tubing.
found that place. But people from the bar went up there on the weekends after we made friends with the owner of the motel who was in the witness
Oh,
protection
right.
program.
And then we went tubing with a bunch of people, and that's
Was that before or after softball?
no, that was after softball. That was
Yeah,
the first time I
okay.
met him was
Understood.
when I played softball.
Okay,
for
yeah, we just
his-
wanted to
But
Those
did
were
you-
all his friends.
But you finally gave him a chance after the tubing.
yeah, because I stepped on a frog and he kissed my foot.
Oh.
I was like, oh my
Oh my
god.
Wait, the frog
That's
kissed your
sweet.
foot
No, he did.
because you stepped on a frog?
I was complaining I stepped on a frog. I was upset, and he took my foot and he kissed it.
And then what happened? What did that do?
What do you think, Brian?
He sealed the deal.
All right. You found
That's
your
like your
prince.
best memory.
That and pink hurricanes.
Hey. You haven't made a pink hurricane in a long time.
I know.
You should bring those back for Fresh Fest.
When you come to the lake house, I'll make it for you.
Okay, fair enough.
Is it a dream?
Do they still sell
Of course.
those?
It's a lemonade.
Of course.
It's pink lemonade.
Like a Minute Maid lemonade kind of thing. Like
Frozen,
those cans of
Yeah.
frozen lemonade.
Frozen concentrated pink lemonade, 3 for $1.
Yeah. And then you put in a blender with ice and vodka.
Lots and
Oh,
lots.
I was going to say, there's got to be some alcohol in there.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of
Definitely. The only thing you have to really watch out for is the brain freeze.
As if you have one.
Well, yes.
Just if you feel it after that
And
many
then
of them, you don't
after the
feel
brain-
anything.
After the brain freeze, you go comatose. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Amazing.
okay,
So
so
the
Mike.
story checks out.
So
I
Mike
was
was
telling
right.
him how we used to go camping, and we used to sleep in the back of the
yes, we
the
did
truck and
sleep and
take a bath in the river.
those were his friends, and then he would take me down to the river, and he would stand guard over me while I took a bath in the stream, so that none of his friends would come spy on me. So he was a gentleman.
The real man.
I was
Something
spying, though.
There you go.
Yeah. But I don't
wanted
remember.
to
But
be
we
the only
did sleep in the
one.
back of his. What was that? A Bronco or
Ooh,
That
there
was
you
a
go.
K5 Blazer.
Blazer? Yeah. He had a. Did you have a mattress down there?
We had an air mattress.
Air mattress. It was actually very comfortable.
Hmm.
So.
Good memories. I like it.
I know. I love this.
Not for the podcast.
What?
Not
This
keeping
is
all that.
Memorial Day Flowers podcast.
Oh my
not,
gosh,
uh,
but
Mommy
no.
Memories.
Day,
This is memories.
This is probably something that happened during Memorial Day.
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, was there a
Actually, camping is
sleepover?
very Memorial Day weekend.
It was
yeah.
very
Yeah.
Memorial Day.
Yeah. All right.
Tomorrow's mommy's birthday. Just saying.
Everybody wish
No
her happy
way.
birthday.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
Oh, happy almost birthday, mommy. 35 again.
I'm not afraid of my age. It's when I say how old my kids are that's when it hits me.
Oh, yeah.
People. Yeah.
Like when they were doing Connor's birthday and you guys had 27 on the candles, I was like, wait a minute, who put that there? That's not right.
No, they had 72.
Either way, 27 is my point. 27
Yeah.
didn't seem right. I was
Yeah.
like, that's too old. It's not 27.
Yeah. They had 72, and I said, "Oh, my son's older than I am."
So Jenna, thank you so much for coming on, and
No, thank you for having me. This was lovely.
next year we're gonna keep growing and doing our thing for Memorial Days because you're my you and Tracy. We got to get Tracy to come down too, but you
Tracy's
guys
going to
are-
Arlington.
Tracy's going to Arlington, of course. Yeah.
Dedicated.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think that once you're there and you see
Is
it,
her dad served? Or is her somebody in her family had served?
I think her boyfriend is in the military. But
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, because he was
Yeah, I
explaining
think she
everything
was
to
saying
us. Remember?
The coins.
Yeah.
The coins that he collects. Yes, she definitely has a boyfriend who is involved with the military. Yes.
Cool. All right. Well,
No,
thank
but
you.
yeah, get involved, call us, reach out, donate. Let's make this thing blow out of control because that's what we do best.
Agreed. Any last thoughts?
Don't be cheap.
Send in your
Love that.
donations.
Donate some roses.
Donate some roses. And
Send a person.
Remember, the time is of the
volunteers.
That's right.
essence.
you can't do it. You can always go on the website, www.memorialdayflowersfoundation.org, and you can make a monetary donation as well.
You can, which goes a long way as well.
Exactly.
Hmm
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jenna.
Thank you guys so much. Love you all.
This
See you
is
Saturday.
Thank you, fatties, for listening. And thank you, Gina, for helping inspire us all to give back this Memorial Day. To all the flower companies and all you fatties, let's keep doing all we can to keep this amazing floral initiative going. This has been another amazing episode of Two Fat Guys Talking Flowers.